the shrine door opened.
Take her now! Let go of me! Get off me!
Hold her still.
They summoned a spirit to execute her, but what happened next changed everything.
They say the earth of Umudara is red because it remembers every drop of blood ever spilled on it. You know the feeling of a storm coming, that heavy, hot silence that presses against your ears. That was the morning of the festival. The wind refused to blow. The birds, those noisy weavers that usually wake us up, they were gone. Even the goats were silent. In my village, silence is not peace. Silence is a warning. Most people would hide. They would lock their doors and pray the darkness passes them by. But human beings are stubborn, and Amara was the most stubborn of them all. She was not just strong, she was inconvenient. She was the kind of woman who asked why when everyone else just said yes. She stood in the center of the square, wearing green, looking like a fresh leaf in a field of dry dust. Her heart was beating fast, boom, boom, boom. But her feet were planted like the roots of an iroko tree. She knew the law. Women must cover their eyes when the spirit walks. But Amara believed that if you close your eyes to the monster, you are only making it easier for him to eat you. And then they arrived, the owners of the land, the voices of the gods, or so they claimed, the 4 elders. Look at them, walking as if they own the sunlight. There was Babakalu, the blind one. They say he lost his eyes looking at a ghost, but I think he just chooses not to see the truth. Then Ogamadu, the loud one. You know men like him. The louder they shout, the smaller they feel inside. Naobi and Papayeke followed behind, muscle and secrets wrapped in expensive cloth. They saw her standing there, a woman, alone, defiant. To them, this was not just disobedience, it was an insult. You could see the veins popping in Ogamadu's neck. He screamed at her, "The air is not for you to breathe today. Go back to the shadows." But have you ever tried to shout at a rock? It doesn't move. Amara did not move. She wasn't trying to be a hero. She just wanted to know, is the thing behind the mask a god, or is it just a man? Forest gave its answer. It started with a sound. Not a drum, but a crunch, like ancient bones breaking. Crunch, crunch. The mist rolled out of the trees like smoke from a bad fire, and from the smoke he stepped out, 7 feet tall, covered in layers of dry, scratching raffia. It smelled of old earth and dry graves. It was not a man in a costume. No, the way it moved, it was too heavy, too ancient. The masquerade had awakened. At that moment, I tell you, the whole village stopped breathing. Even the dust settled down to watch. The elders were screaming now, "Kill her, strike her down." They wanted blood. They needed her to be punished so their laws would stay strong. The masquerade raised its hand, a heavy wooden fist, hard enough to crush a skull. Amara squeezed her eyes shut. She waited for the darkness. She waited for the pain. 1 second passed. 2 seconds. 10 seconds. But the blow never landed. Why? The spirit stopped. His hand froze in the air.
He was trembling, not from anger, but from recognition. Amara opened her eyes. She looked up, past the wood, past the straw, and she saw that the monster wasn't looking at her face. He was staring at the bronze pendant on her neck. A simple piece of metal, but to this spirit, it was a key. He lowered his hand, gently, like a father putting a hand on a child. The air in the village changed instantly. The fear evaporated. It was impossible. The masquerade showed mercy.
Now, you would think this was a good thing, right? The girl survived. A miracle. But for the elders, a miracle is a disaster. If the masquerade doesn't punish the sinner, then the elders look like fools, and powerful men hate looking like fools. The spirit did something even worse. He turned his back on the girl, and he turned his face toward the elders. Imagine that. The god you summoned turns around to judge you. Ogamadu stepped back. You could smell the fear on him. Papa Eke tried to be brave. He pointed his finger. "I command you," he shouted. Do you know what the spirit did? He stomped his foot. Boom! Like thunder crashing on the ground. A cloud of red dust hit the elders in the face. It was a rejection, a public disgrace. And without a word, the spirit walked back into the forest. He left the girl alive.
In Umudara before the morning.
Amara stood there, shaking. She was alive. But the elders knew they were losing control. The villagers were whispering, "Why did he spare her? Are the elders lying?" Panic is a dangerous thing. Before anyone could ask more questions, the elders attacked. They didn't use magic, they used force. "Seize her!" they shouted. Three strong men grabbed Amara. It was ugly, it was violent. They dragged her through the red dirt, her green wrapper tearing on the stones. Listen to what they screamed. Listen to the lie. She is a witch. She bewitched the spirit. She is cursed.
Witch! 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 She is a witch. She corrupted the spirit.
See how easy it is? When the truth doesn't fit their story, they call it witchcraft.
They shouted lies to cover the truth. They threw her into the darkness.
They threw her into the mud hut, the edge of the village. They slammed the heavy wooden door. They locked it with iron. They thought, if we lock her in the dark, the truth will disappear. But they forgot one thing. The truth can see in the dark. Night fell over Umudara, a heavy blue night. Amara sat on the dirt floor, holding her necklace, crying softly.
Amara sat alone, holding her necklace.
She thought it was over.
But outside, in the empty square, boom! A drum beat. No one was touching it, but the skin of the drum vibrated. Boom! At the edge of the forest, the door to the shrine creaked open, and there it was, the masquerade suit, standing up.
The shrine door opened.
Ready for the world. The costume was standing.
But look closely, look at the ribs, look at the neck. There is no man inside. It is empty, but it is awake.
It was empty, but it was awake.
Two red eyes glowed from the darkness. The elders went to sleep thinking they were safe. They were wrong. The judgment has just begun. The story ends here for today, but the mystery has just begun. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this tale, please subscribe to join our tribe at Dark Tales of the Red Earth. Turn on your notifications, and I will see you in the next video.